It's Wednesday, so it must be Hilary from Pink Bubble Cards Alphabet Challenge Day. I feel like, was it Mike Aspel? Crackerjack, it's Friday and it's 5 to 5, so it's Crackerjack. Anyway, it's I for Inky, and I thought I would use some elements of my collection. Before I get into making a very quick and simple card, I'm going to show you a couple of videos, and apologies if I keep saying hello, it's Ashley from Paper&Twine. The first little bit is when I actually open my package, receiving the products for the first time, and the second one is a walkthrough of samples I made for the CraftStash website. Again, full transparency, I don't get any money for any of this. And apologies, in the second part the lighting is very bad because I was filming it at night and my lights are terrible. Hello, it's Ashley here from Paper&Twine. I am so excited. My craft capsule collection has arrived. I haven't looked at it. I have just snipped open the bag. What is missing from here are the papers. They're going to be arriving separately, so I will add that onto here. If you're new to my channel, you might not know that I won Card Maker of the Year 2021 here in the UK, or I was one of the 4 winners, hosted by Practical Publishing. They publish a whole raft of craft magazines which are available internationally, and oh yes, part of the competition was to design a craft capsule collection. The 4 of us had our design ideas, and they were published in the magazine and on Craft World, and it was put to a public vote, and I won that part. So these items are going to be for sale on CraftStash. Oh gosh, I really hope I like them. As I'm filming this, it is January the 27th, I believe. Hold on a minute. Yes, January the 27th. This video won't be going up until sometime in April probably. I think that's when the collection is going to be launched. But let's have a look and see what is in here. So there should, as far as I know, be 2 stamp sets and a stencil set. Okay, let's have a look. So this is for CraftStash's own brand called CraftStash and Co. Oh my goodness! Oh! So let's look at the stencils first. So we've got these 2 on here. So it's 1 complete stencil with 2 designs. So this kind of like a foliage and swirly fern design and a honeycomb design. Nature's Beauty Patterns A5 stencil featuring Ashley Thompson. And it says, Ashley is a passionate paper crafter of 20 years whose stylish stamping, attention to detail and clever interactive elements earned her a Craft World Card Maker of the Year award in 2021, which has led to her designing this collection. And it says it coordinates with A5 stamp set, Nature's Backdrop, and the whole collection is called Nature's Beauty. Oh, this is so exciting. And then we've got this one. So it's kind of a script, and then you've got the circles with the script in. I really like that idea. So my designs, my ideas, I submitted lots of ideas after I'd won this part of the competition, and it was back and forth, and it's interesting that, you know, what you have in your mind cannot necessarily be replicated into a product. But I said I wanted script, and we've gone down the nature route because that is one of the things that I really like. And this says it coordinates, giving you a sneak peek of the one of the stamp sets. So this coordinates with CraftStash and Co by Ashley Thompson A5 stamp set, Nature's Shapes, Nature's Beauty. So the whole collection is called Nature's Beauty. And this is the main stamp set. So there's 14 stamps in here. Oh my word. So I was very keen to get a fern. There are lots of ferns out there. My friend Hazel Eaton has done ferns. Lavinia has done ferns. But I really wanted a, what's the word? A curled up fern, an immature fern. And I sent them a lot of photographs that I'd taken. And then we've got a little background set in here. So I like this. So you've got focal points, you've got sentiments, and you've got backgrounds that you can build up and little stamps for detail. So love nature and be happy. Relax. I mean, I gave them some ideas for sentiments. These aren't mine, but they've gone with what fits on the carrier sheet. Little thistle there. This isn't quite what I had in mind, but I think it was what they could do in the time frame. I wanted something that was a little bit more elongated, more like a teasel than a thistle. But I'm super pleased with that. Nature never goes out of style. Nature is the best art. Lovely, lovely. And then we've got two A5 stamp sets. So this looks really interesting. It looks like it's got a lot of texture. It's got all the same information about me on the back of the packaging. So this looks really good. So you've got lots of texture in there. Oh my word. Oh my word. Oh, and I never noticed there's a bee on there. And then you've got this with the script and the fern, the curled up fern. Oh my word. So I'm going to have a play. They've asked me, I've got a commission for creative stamping, which goes on sale at the end of April. They're going to feature these designs in creative stamping, and they want me to make 3 projects for it. And then I guess maybe for the website, I've got to make more projects. But oh my word, I will come back later and show you some things that I've made and perhaps do a process video on something. But considering these have been manufactured in China, they were hoping to manufacture in the UK, but they've been manufactured in China. At the end of the day, they're a business and it all comes down to cost, doesn't it? You know, what they're going to sell these for, and you know, they want to make a profit, don't they? They feel good quality, actually. They feel better quality than the stamps you get on cover mounts with free gifts. So I am so excited, I cannot tell you. Oh, right, I will be back later. Hello, it's Ashley here from Paper&Twine, and I'm going to show you some samples I've made for my craft collection, which is essentially this A5 stamp set. And there's 2 stencils, a paper pad, and a backdrop stamp set. So I've made a load of samples to help launch the product, which will be available on CraftStash soon. Well, by the time you see this, it will have been launched. And I'm sorry for the poor light, but I've been working up against a deadline, and yeah. So this is the main, one of the main backdrop stamps. There's 2 in the set, and this one I really like because it features this grass, this meadow grass, and a little bumblebee. And I've used the honeycomb stencil as well, which is one of the stencils. And just everything I've done is kind of green and brown. So this is a little pop of colour, and just one of the sentiments, nature is the best art, inside. This is the other backdrop, and I've just split it and stamped it on one of my grungy backgrounds with a little focal image, which has got a little bit of clear embossing powder on it to make it look like an enamel tile, getting glare off that. But this stamps really nicely, actually. I have used it with a stamp platform rather than a block, just simply because I haven't got a block big enough. But you could actually just take it off the carrier sheet and just press bits of it into your paper. I don't know whether you can see, there's a little bit of one of the other stamps there. So this is all on oxide background, and I've used ground espresso, I think, to stamp that, and on brown rather than black. So that's another backdrop one. And then this is taking that backdrop I've just shown you, and on a Cosmic Shimmer background I've just cut the piece up into panels, and you can see the Cosmic Shimmer on there and the dramatic black with the white, quite a nice contrast, and the stamp Love Nature and Be Happy. And yeah, there's some just embellishments on there as well. So that's 3 samples using the backdrops. Then using the paper pad, I've got a couple of square cards here using the paper pad. This sheet, I have to confess, was my favourite. I love the colours in it. It's kind of speckled eggy and weathered wood with a bit of antique linen, and nature is the best art I've put on there, and just some glosses. And for this panel I've just scored some lines, I think it's at every 1/8 of an inch, just to add a bit of texture. I think that's quite effective. So that's that one. And then on this one I've used all of the papers, cut them up into kind of like a patchwork arrangement with, again, nature is the best art. Just really simple. I've done something else with the papers which I really like, so I hope they like all these samples. This is using the A5 Nature's Beauty, I think it's called Nature's Beauty stamp set. So little bits of one of the leaves, and stenciling through that honeycomb. I just loved the honeycomb, and yeah, just quite an interesting card. Just cutting off half of the front panel, or not quite half, and having a little bit of interest on the inside of the card. Then there's this one where I've used Cosmic Shimmer background again, and one of the what do you call it, stamps. It's kind of like a thistle. It's a shame, I wanted a teasel, I didn't really get a teasel, but Cosmic Shimmer background there, and some torn natural paper, and kind of like an orangey yellow card. Just a simple card really, but using layers and offsetting that so that, yeah, it just adds a little bit of interest. And I've just done another one as well, using the stamp. I've done this on glossy card. I've sprayed it with a mica spray and stenciled through the circle stencil, and that's just on one of my backgrounds. So that's those. Then we come on to the stencil. There's 2 stencils. There's script and what's the other one? I don't know. Shapes, patterns, shapes and patterns. Yeah. So that's the one script. I've just masked off and blended through, and then again, that is one of my favourite stamps. Just a simple card. And then I've made a rocker card, and I love the dramatic fern, and this is the other script stencil, and it's kind of quite bright and vibrant. I've used nature is the best art a lot, actually. But yeah, I quite like that, so I hope they like these. It's really daunting because, you know, these essentially are going to potentially be what sell the product, not that, you know, I get any monetary thing from it. Then this is the other stencil, which I do slightly prefer. Yeah, this is Patterns stencil. So here I've stenciled using texture paste through through the stencil. The the fern-like one, and sprayed it with a bit of mica stain. That says nature never goes out of style, and I've just stamped the fern to pick up on what's going on here. And I've used the backdrop, the fern backdrop stamp as well. That's quite effective, I think. And then just simply stenciled through with a blending brush, torn up one of the sentiments, just focused on the word nature, and then these are kind of like raised up, they're stamped underneath on a bit of watercolour card, and some little embellishments at the top there. And this, I sprayed water on the stencil, and this is kind of like the reverse. Again, that's a really nice thing to do. It doesn't work with every stencil, but you know, some stencils it's nice. Yeah, so I like that. And then this one I really love. So I've used the texture paste through the honeycomb stencil, and sprinkled on, left the stencil in place, sprinkled on Cosmic Shimmer Pixie powders in 3 different colours, and then sprayed it with water and carefully removed the stencil. And then this is on a brochet background, and we've got just a little dictionary definition of the word bee, and just taking part of that big backdrop stamp. Yeah, I really like that. And then again, for another different pop of colour, using the honeycomb stencil, I've just done a spinner card. So that's that. Then finally, I've made a little book. So this uses all of the products. So it says nature never goes out of style. I've cut it up. This is one of the papers that I've actually just stenciled onto, and on the back it's got nature is the best art. Again, one of the backing papers I've just stenciled on. And then it's like what I made for Handmade by Abigail, albeit smaller, I think, I'm not sure. And yeah, we've got tags, just using everything in the collection. So pockets, papers, tags. Yeah. Peeled paint has become one of my new colours that I really like. Little Tim Holtz clipping. I wasn't sure whether I should use other products or not, so I've been very minimal. And then, like the little thing that I made for Handmade by Abigail, it kind of opens out like that. We've got another pocket here with picking up on the word journal from the word stencil, and I've just stamped the leaf on the bottom there. So it's quite grungy, quite mixed media, this. But I hope I've done enough to show that it doesn't have to be mixed media, you know. Relax. Just using everything, really. Little teeny tag, using the backdrop. And that's stamping on the paper with one of the little stamps in the main stamp set, which I love. This is a little bit of that backdrop just cut down into a little journaling card. So we've got a little pocket there. I love the oxidization on this, and a tip with oxidization: if you make a background with your oxide inks, leave it to dry naturally, don't heat set it, you'll get a much more intense oxidization. Nature never goes out of style again. Little journaling card there. Then we've got a little side pocket this time with notes, and again just stamping on the paper. That's upside down, but never mind. In you go. And again, just backed all of these with the different papers. Another little journaling card in there. Well, it could be a journaling card, it could just be a tag. and just picking up on the word nature off one of the stamps. Art, again, isolating that word. Little tiny flower stamp. Tim Holtz clipping. Isolating be happy from one of the other stamps. Nature never goes out of style. Love nature and be happy. Got that. And that's that. So I just need to get these in the post now and I hope that they like them. Don't forget to comment down below what you think. What would you like to see me make with these stamps, stencils and papers? Comment down below. Take care everybody. Bye now. So I hope you saw my genuine excitement there. I cannot tell you, it's amazing. And the Facebook Live last week, which I'll try and leave a link to, was so emotional, hearing people say really nice things about the demos, about the products, and I know a couple of people have said that they're going to buy the products. I'm really pleased with that. Thank you so much. But let's get ahead and make a very simple card. We'll turn that over because there's a fingerprint smudge there. I've got a 15cm white card blank, and we're going to do pretty much just a one layer card. And I'm going to use my favourite stencil. We're going to need to move it down a little bit. We'll go through this. No, we'll go through this way actually. And I am going to use Distress ink and Distress oxide. And I'm going to use mustard seed, carved pumpkin and festive berries. I don't have the festive berries in the oxide, so but we're going to do a little colour fade, and I'm not going to stencil the whole lot of this card. I'm going to do kind of like a little narrow section through the middle. That's enough of that. And we'll come in with the carved pumpkin. It's quite early in the morning as I'm filming this, which is why my voice is a bit croaky. We're going up to Bolton today to pick up our new car. It's the same car as we had before, different colour, slightly different spec. Oh, and then we'll just come in with, actually if I move it down a little bit, because I want to get to the bottom of the card, just lining up, and come in with the red. Move those out of the way for now. Red. It's too early in the morning. I'll just line that up like that, and I want it to fade out at the sides. If you wanted to, you could fix this down with some tape just to line it up, but just to show you how easy it is to move this along. And we'll come in with the red. I'm just fading it out at the sides. So I've got kind of like a little bit in the middle like that. And I'm going to find a scrap piece of card. I love ink. And there's lots of things you can do with ink, but blending is by far the simplest thing, isn't it? I don't want all of this piece, so I'm going to cut a piece like that. This is again more than I need, but I've got a bit of ink on there. Let's just move this out of the way. I'm getting all of a dither. And again, I want to, I'm going to focus on the orange and the red. Put it this way, in the middle. And a bit of red. Bit more orange at the top, like so. There we go. I'll just put a little bit more red on the bottom just to get that colour depth. But I love the width of the white bit on this. So you get a really brilliant sharp white contrast, which I absolutely love. Now I've got a lot of ink. I can move those out of the way because I don't need them anymore. I've got a lot of ink on my stencil here, so I don't need that anymore either, so I'm just going to move those out of the way. I'm just trying to tidy up as I go along so that I don't get in a right mess. Just move that because I don't want to splodge it. As I say, I've got a lot of ink left on here. I'm going to come in with my water spray, and I'm doing it off camera so I don't get water on my work surface. Just spraying the back of the stencil and laying that down flat like so. Bring in some kitchen roll, pressing that down, and I should get an impression. It's not brilliant, but it's the start of a background. And just give that a wipe, and we can put it back in our packet. I'll do that off camera. Now I could use all of these lovely background stamps. I need to get into the packet, see how ripped it is, but I'm going to use this stamp here, which is one of my favourites. I know you shouldn't have favourites, but the more I've used this collection, everything is my favourite, to be honest with you. And just move that out of the way, and I am going to use my stamp platform because it is a big stamp and I don't have a block big enough. Bring in the piece that we're going to stamp on. I'm just going to anchor it down like so, and I want the bee so we'll pop that like that. I think that will do. Blue is meowing at the door because she's heard that I'm up and she wants a breakfast. Let me just let her in. I haven't seen Blue for a while, have you? Leave the door open, she might come trotting in. Yes, she's come trotting in. She's going to come and jump upon my paper trimmer probably in a minute. That's one of her favourite places. Or the other place, you might just hear her scratching behind me. I've got a wicker basket in here which I've got to sort through. It belonged to my mother-in-law and it's come all the way from Uganda. I don't know whether I've ever mentioned this before. Mr. Paper&Twine spent about, I think it was 5 years in Uganda when he was little. His dad worked out there for the East Africa Company. Oh, something to do with electricity engineering, I don't know. Anyway, giving that a good inking up. I don't need to worry about this bit because we're not doing that bit. And just press it down. Let's have a look and see how we're doing. Need a bit more of that. And that's good. That is lovely, lovely jubbly. Right, so what I want to do now is bring in, I've got a small circle die in here, which came with my Big Shot. If you had a hexagon die, that would be quite good to go with the honeycomb. I'm just going to isolate a little bit of the image like so. Stick it down with a little bit of tape. Like so. I'm just going to trim this down so it will fit through my little Big Shot, as I don't want to get big die cutting machine out. There we go. This washi tape, I don't know where it came from, but it's not very sticky. Let's bring in my trusty Big Short. Put that there like so. And there like so. Apologies if you watched yesterday's video and I mentioned you and I hadn't linked you. Yes, I'm going to go and address that in a minute when I edit this. So Roz, I think from Handmade by Roz. Yes, I forgot to mention her. I showed my pocket letter, mini pocket letter entry, and there was a couple of other people as well whose names escape me just right now. But I will go and address that today. Gosh, I'm knocking everything. Right, here we go. So we've got a little element, and we're going to line up the colours. So about there, I think looks good. And I think I might raise it up. And do I want it glossy or do I want it? No, I don't think I want it glossy because we're doing ink. So I'm just going to add a couple of foam pads on the back. If I'd stuck that in the centre, it would probably have been enough. Another bit there. Yeah, so I'm quite looking forward to going up to Bolton. I'm going to do a little bit of a Google search to see if there's a yarn shop close by, because I need to get something to knit something for somebody. All right, let's just line up our honeycomb like so. And then I think we'll add just a little sentiment from the stamp set. And I think we'll have Nature Never Goes Out of Style. Pop it on a little block. Using our ink again. And I like on this sentiment how you've got different fonts within the same sentiment. I've had this for many years and it's still going strong. Right, would help if I had it the right way up, wouldn't it? And we'll just let that sit. There we go. I like that little pop of black there. And I think we'll just finish off with a couple of jemmies. I haven't got any red ones. Red and yellow and orange would be nice with that, wouldn't it? But I think we'll use some of these. Just put a couple on my paper here. Don't need many. And people say, oh, how do you know how many to apply and where to apply them? I just do it randomly, but rule of 3 and kind of like a rough triangle shape works quite well. Put a little dab of glue there and you there. I haven't even had a cup of tea yet. I thought I'd get on and do this straight away because I want to try and edit it and get it up before we go to Bolton. We're leaving at 9. Have you and then I'll have this one, which is a smaller one, up in this corner here. So is that an isosceles triangle? I don't know. Could have done it further up, couldn't I? Look at the state of my hands already. There. Let's move everything out of the way. And you can see the card in its full glory. Sorry, it's a bit of a long one again, but a couple of subscribers said they hadn't really seen a decent process or tutorial video in a while from me. So I just thought I'd pop on and do that. Let's pop that in there, that there, that there, that there, and there is my eye for Inky. Very simple, but a couple of techniques just blending. And I love how, because it's quite a big stencil, you just fade out the edges and it makes it pop out of the page rather than covering the whole page. And just showing you that with my collection you don't have to use greens and browns, which is what they've shown a lot of on the website, but you know, you can use bright colours as well. So I will link Hilary down below. I wonder what she'll pull out of the pot today. It's exciting. Take care, everybody. I'll be back soon. Bye now.